because of that they can't naik pangkat. Yeah. I mean, we all know lah, like, you know, for people in green, why they are the way like that. Like sometimes, like, I'm not saying it's true. I can be wrong. It's just that I think some of them are quite a bit. They are borderline sociopath. You know, they are what they are, right? So yeah, whatever. But yeah, like this morning was like another reminder of like why I try my best to stay awake in vehicles when traveling. Like, you know, like you can be the best driver, you can be the most safest driver, but the other person is not. Like you can try your best to, you know, have a, you know, pleasant day of driving, you know, like stay safe. You're like the model driver, right? Yeah, you can, but you cannot account for the other factor, which is the other person fucking shit up for your morning, afternoon, evening, whatever. So yeah. So I don't know, like to all those like BMW and Mercedes drivers in Singapore, like I know all of you are not like that, you know. I'm sure some like some of you are the nicest people, but those who are causing a spike in accidents, you all need to check yourself because you already wrecked yourself. Okay, so wee hours. Hey, you know what? Wee hours, like, okay, let me share with you another near miss incident I had last time. Okay, I used to work at Golden Village. I was a projectionist. I covered Vivo and Jurong Point. So this was when the time I was at I was covering Jurong Point. So Jurong, like working for Golden Village, we have like 3 shift. We got the morning to afternoon shift. We got the afternoon to late evening shift, and then we got the midnight shift, which is like 7-ish p.m. until tomorrow morning, like 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. whatever. So this was when it was puasa time at that time. It was puasa, and I was doing the late night shift. So for the late night shift, like we have compensation for like if you want to take a taxi or what, you know, you just take the receipt and then you present it back to the manager, and then they will like pay you back. So this was during puasa. My driver was a pakcik. It was kind of quite an old pakcik, and I'm pretty sure he puasa lah. So why I say that? Like I was very sure he puasa. He this was like I think 4 a.m. ish, 5 a.m. ish. It was quite late. So he was driving me back home, and like I don't know. That's the thing about like long straight roads. Like there wasn't really a lot of like vehicles at that time, and again, I stayed awake. I made sure I didn't fall asleep because it really did happen. This moment where I was like, you know, watching the road, like, you know, like looking at the road, and then suddenly the car started doing this. It wasn't like changing lane. It was doing this. It was swerving, you know. And I'm like, this pakcik. And I didn't want to be rude to the guy. So I was like, you know, doing whatever I can, trying not to be rude, but trying to make sure he like stays awake a bit. And there was like several times this happened. So yeah, you know, it's a cause for concern, right? Especially when a driver who you trust to drive you from one point to another point starts doing this, and the moment you like look at the side, you'll be like, because he's old, he's a pakcik, puasa time, right? And I didn't want to like be rude to him or anything, so I tried my best to like, you know, like cough loudly, like suddenly for no reason like make music on the dashboard nobody asked for, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, so and he was at that, like, you know, at that state a few times, got me really worried, and we weren't close to like passing Yishun, right? And so yeah, and finally when we did reach my house, I told him, "Cik, jaga baik-baik hati jaga diri baik-baik jangan tidur pula." And he like, "Ha," then he drive off. Hopefully he park somewhere and, you know, like doze off or something and try to sleep. So yeah lah. Another reason why I try my best to stay awake is because of that. Unless it's like it's somebody that I trust, you know, to not, like, at least a family member. Like my limit right now, unless there's a friend that I know who has like solid driving skills, you know. But still, I will try my best to stay awake. It's just that, like, yeah, again, I'm gonna repeat this. Like, even if you're a safe driver, you still cannot account for like the random variables that happens on the road. You know, kind of sucks. You got Esther Bella in the house? I haven't seen you in a while, Esther. Welcome. For that you shall receive the tribal mantra. And if you don't accept my tribal mantra, I'll be sad. Okay, there we go. Welcome. Just talking about yeah, the Titanic flute, which I tried to cover, but I can never get it right, and I always get flagged by Rockworks of my most pathetic attempt on trying to play the flute. I blame it on nothing else other than myself and my commitment. But welcome. How are you doing? Noise. Anyways, what time is it for you right now, Esther? Is it like 2 p.m. for you right now? I'm doing good. Wait, hang on. Wada Fugami has alerted me that he requires the tribal flute, and it's been really. There we go. Almost alright. Hopefully you had your lunch, because it's lunchtime. Your PC just arrived. I am genuinely very happy for you. I'm not too sure if you got like the 100% of what I kind of recommended, but I mean, if it works, right? I don't know about the prices for the PC components over there in Brazil. Hopefully it's not too expensive. Like, okay, like if you don't mind, like what's the average like price range over there? Like, is it, if you're talking about US dollars, I don't know what's the exchange rate over in Brazil. Like, hopefully it's not too expensive though. And how is the stock in Brazil? Like, we down here, we are still trying to deal with scalper prices. Like, people are selling prices like as though like they're trying to extort money out of you. So hopefully you're not having that issue in Brazil though. But yeah, genuinely very happy for you. Oh dear lord, that's kind of high though. That is kind of high. But yeah, like with the budget that you told me on IG, um, at least I think you are not spending too much. You know, um, like you just need something to work. Like every other components that is future upgradable, you don't have to do it now. You know, work as a PC craftsman. What is a PC craftsman? Wadafugami, can you elaborate on what that is? PC technician, I know. PC craftsman, what is that? So yeah, again, I mean um, Esther, like if your PC, wait, what did I recommend you to get for your GPU? Is it 1650? Is it 1660? So you that's good. Guys, let me just remind you again, like when it comes to like PC building or buying PC, spend on what you need. That's why like earlier this afternoon, even Alex Town asked about some monitor thing. I always ask her a question first before I say anything else. I always ask the question, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna use that PC, that monitor, or whatever for? There's always the question I ask first before I recommend anything. I don't want to be the person to just like suddenly give you like recommendations just because I think it's correct. No, no. I always like ask the question like, what is the main purpose of that PC? Like because like, okay, we're talking about Esther, like her case scenario, right? Esther Bella's case scenario. She's gonna use it for streaming, obviously, and probably here and there do some um, light to average gaming, right? I don't expect to have like Esther like talking about like high end gaming and all that, and the budget is like as such. That's not gonna happen, you know. So, but like from what I've seen, like she was kind enough to share me the list of like, hey, does this work? So I look at it, and then I kind of like analyze the parts and all that. Her setup is future proof, meaning to say that if she's gonna swap over like a certain component, it is at least future proof. And I think if she just like take care of a PC, her stuff is gonna last a solid few years, maybe 3 to 5 years. Just keep it clean, maintain. Don't download things you don't need, like Jana Russo or sometimes Jana Russo downloads the most questionable things. So but again, like just even if I give the advice or give like what I think is correct, let my opinions be one of the factors. Don't let my words be the only factor. Like I may say this, another person may have a different opinion and all that. So at least you got more options. You know what I'm saying? Your last when you're 40. That's a bit of a stretch, Alex Town. But who knows? I know some people have stretched their setups for 9 years and more, because they don't really do anything heavy to the setup. Yours can last till 60. Let me congratulate Wadafugami on his ambitions. Good. There you go. But then again, we have to accept the reality that most things that are built now never tend to last very long. It is how business is. And once we accept the fact, it'd be like... So yeah, there we go. Out of curiosity, what size monitor do you use? Robux was making fun of me when I was browsing for monitors. What? Why was he making fun of you? I shall discuss with him in a private chat. Right now my current setup is I have two monitors, both of them 27 inch. One is a flat screen, the other one is a curved screen. But I'm thinking of letting go of my curved screen and like both of them like flat, same brands. But we'll see. That's a decision in a later time. But I'm in no rush, by the way. So okay. The thing is okay, monitor screen. Size of the monitor screen. Let me try to put this as simple as I can. Your desk space. Okay, we're not talking about the technical part first. We're talking about like how much does your desk space allow? Is your desk big enough, wide enough, to accommodate both? If you're into like, okay, we're talking about case study for Alex Town. Like Alex Town, like her work involves a lot of colors. Like because she's doing like like graphic stuff and all that. So color is important to her. That's her case scenario. So if for Alex Town there is a bit of emphasis on at least trying to get a monitor that is catered to color calibration works. Okay, for me, I usually don't emphasize much on color calibration because like my eyes is not so in tune to what is a collective grouping of colors, which is like, is it correct, is it not? As long as I see red is red, like my chair right here, there's actually a filter going on in the background. Like if I don't on the filter on OBS right now, the color is kind of dull. But for me, I'm more simplistic in a sense where that's red, and there's color, and I'm about it. But like for people like Alex Town and like people who do color grading works, they can see, like especially for rock works, like they are more fine tuned in seeing colors in a more exact way. So if that is important to you, try to find monitors that is like well or easier to color calibrate. But if you're coming back to Esther's like case scenario, like if you're doing your art, most of your art is digital, like traditional, unless you like swap back and forth a lot, right? Digital and traditional. So if ever a time where when you do digital, like for example you're doing if your scenario changes from like if you're doing a Wacom set, digital board, and you gotta see that not from the pad, but you have to translate that and you have to look from the screen. And if color is important to you, then you gotta get a screen that is again catered to color calibration. Size wise is not important. 24 inch to 27 inch, that's kind of like the sweet spot. Try not to go anything above because it doesn't really make sense to you, right? So again, scenario wise, you gotta ask yourself like, how do you approach your work, your stream? So if the setup is always like webcam showing what's on your table, your traditional art, your iPad, then pretty much any monitor works. Okay, webcam, table, your art, digital, paper, whatever, any monitor is fine. Size wise, again, is not really important in that regard. 24 inch, 23.5 inch, 23 inch, 21 inch, 27. Size wise, it doesn't really matter. Again, the bigger the monitor, you gotta ask yourself, do you have the desk space? And for the setup, like right now, if you're talking about like average like normal setups, you don't really have to go beyond 1080p. So that's why like 27 is like the sweet spot, and anything above that, your screen is kind of look like it's a bit big pixelated, you know. Because bigger screen, the GPU has to send signal to, you know, like try to compensate. Sometimes your screen kind of looks like a bit stretched, so you don't want to have that situation. So you have gotta get a monitor that's compact. So 27 inch is usually the sweet spot, but the space constraint. There you go. Like for Alex Town, what she mentioned, that is one of the reasons why I always ask the question: what is your desk space? Do you like, what kind of desk space do you have? Like for my setup, because I kind of like beforehand kind of planned like how I wanted it. So I basically bought the table, like two of the same tables to stretch out my space, so I can put like two 27-inch monitors and still have space. I still have a lot of space to work with, you know. I wanna have a second monitor eventually, but it's not in the budget right now. It's okay. It's totally okay. Like, that's why the other question I asked Alex Town this afternoon: if you're gonna have a secondary monitor, what is the purpose of that secondary monitor? Is it for checking or monitoring the chat on Twitch? You know, like secondary, right? So secondary monitor, you can even buy as small as possible. And for Alex Town's case scenario is just buy those, like, you know, those like iPad size, like really small portable monitors where it is powered by just the USB. So a suggestion was given to her, and she doesn't really need to buy those like chunky, like an actual monitor, but a portable one where you can actually bring outside. That's why it's called portable, right? To bring outside and use it on display. So seeing how your scenario is, it costs less, it doesn't take so much space, and it works. Most of the time it works. So when it doesn't work, it's because of driver issues. It's nothing really to do with the hardware itself. But again, check on your scenario. So because most of the stuff, like, you're watching from your main monitor itself, right? That's where the main thing happens. And so yeah, like just reassess. Like once you are done, I think, Esther, like, I think what I can say right now is you just wait for your PC to be like properly set up. Once it's there, you set it up on your table, you get it running, you know, like stream it a few times, get done with the work a few times, and then you sit back, you reassess, you look at your table, like what can be done to further enhance your experience. If you need a secondary monitor just to monitor your Twitch chat, you don't really need to buy a monitor. You can, but you don't really need to. Just get a portable monitor, or just get a device, get a secondary phone or something that just put it on the side, mount it if you wish, and just see chat. Then you're still ready to go. Because what's most important is what's in front of you, which is your main monitor, right? Yeah. So again, I think size-wise is not really that important. But I will never try to recommend anything that is above 27 inch unless it's a very high grade monitor, I guess. Hey, Neutral, what's up, man? Welcome to the streams. Well, at least you're one of the nicer trolls compared to the other two trolls that was banned by Rockworks earlier just now. Yeah. Yeah, that happened randomly. Like, yeah, they were calling me Gandhi and mentioning names about somebody who used to be from Germany. Yeah, the guy who had that. Yeah, I'm not gonna mention his name. I wonder. Well, it is what it is, right? Yeah, I mean that's fine. Like like my mouse was like on the right click. I was about to like, I specifically told them in the chat, I have no issues on like pressing the band hammer, because there were like two of them, and even before I press anything, Rawworks was like get out. Hey, Shavi Jane, welcome, welcome. I'm doing good. We just chatting, you know. Hang on, we just chatting. Keeping up to date, having conversations, and yeah, we just chilling out. I got my Xbox running in the back. We might play a few games. I don't know. Like the stream might stretch until tomorrow morning. I don't know. We'll see how. Bless the boss. Yes. Yeah, my mouse earlier on was like, it was ready to do that right click, but yeah, Rockworks like he just didn't want to deal with it, so he immediately banned the both of them.